Well friends, the good news about investment in the United States just keeps on coming. This time, it is BMW Group that just announced plans to invest $1.7 billion in its US operations. The German automaker plans to build electric vehicles and batteries at a new plant in the US. This is just the latest in what seems to be a long parade of big companies that are investing in manufacturing in the US. The list is getting long. Ford is building a mega plant in Kentucky. General Motors is building 2 new factories. Tesla just completed the construction of Giga Austin and is discussing a huge new investment in Fremont, California. Intel is investing in plants in Arizona, New Mexico, and a giant complex in Ohio. Micron just announced a new plant near Syracuse, New York. Taiwan Semiconductor is building a new factory in Arizona. This seems to be the great reshoring that nobody seems to be talking about. And it is giving the United States a shot in the arm. What does this mean for the future of the car industry? And what does this mean for the future of the United States? But before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. BMW just announced that it plans to invest $1.7 billion in its US operations. The German automaker plans to build electric vehicles and batteries in the US. The newly announced investment includes $1 billion for production of electric vehicles. The investment site will be at the BMW Spartanburg, South Carolina facility. $700 million of the total will be for a new battery assembly facility, also in Spartanburg. BMW also announced that it will buy battery cells from AESC, Japanese battery maker. AESC announced that it will also build a new battery plant in South Carolina. The BMW investment includes $1 billion to set up production of electric vehicles. BMW has announced that 6 fully electric models will be sold in the US market by 2030. The BMW Spartanburg facility currently produces the BMW X SUV. That same factory also makes lithium-ion battery modules to BMW plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. Production of the new BMW XM hybrid electric vehicle is scheduled to start later this year. Going forward, it will also be a major driver for our electrification strategy, and we will produce at least 6 fully electric BMW X models here by 2030, BMW Chair Oliver Zips said in a press release. The Envision AESC battery plant will have an annual production volume of 30 gigawatt-hours. That is basically in line with plans for other US battery manufacturing plants. AESC announced plans to invest $2 billion for a second US plant in Kentucky. It already operates a battery plant in Tennessee to supply Nissan Motor. BMW has previously announced 4 more battery cell factories. Those plants are set to be built in Europe and China. The new announcements are the just latest of several recent multi-billion-dollar US investments. Climate change has caused the tightening of emissions regulations. And the US Congress has introduced new legislation to encourage domestic manufacturing. The Inflation Reduction Act stipulates stricter sourcing guidelines for automakers. And if you recall, the new United States-Mexico-Canada agreement replaced the North American Free Trade Agreement during the Trump administration. Both of the new laws increased requirements for vehicle parts made in the USA. All of this, along with other recent investment announcements, is great news for the United States. If you recall, Ford Motor Company just announced a price increase on its all-new F-150 Lightning pickup. The F-150 Lightning pickup is Ford's most important new vehicle in its first big offering in the electric vehicle market. That is great news for the Detroit automaker. Ford is in the midst of making the transition to a product line that includes electric vehicles by 2030. The transition is not easy, especially for legacy automakers. This comes as Ford continues as a leading seller of gas-powered pickup trucks in the US. Ford Motor Company just announced an increase in the entry price of its new electric F-150 Lightning pickup truck. The base price of the pickup will be raised by $5,000 for the 2023 model year. All trim levels of the F-150 Lightning will be affected by this price increase. Ford blamed the price increase on rising commodity prices, other higher costs and supply chain issues. The new price of the 2023 Lightning Pro, and the entry-level model, which is designed for commercial and business customers, will be $51,974. That model is called the 2023 F-150 Lightning Pro. The new price for the 2023 F-150 Lightning Pro is now 11% higher than its previous pricing. And it is now 30% more expensive than the original $39,974 price from May of 2021. Ford shocked the world when it announced the entry-level price for the Lightning would be around $40,000. That would make it lower priced than most electric vehicles currently on the market. Wall Street analysts had high praise for the F-150 Lightning. That turned out to be a major boost for Ford at the time. Many investors have focused on electric vehicle companies over the past 3 years, especially startup electric vehicle makers. A wave of new electric vehicle startups came upon the scene. And legacy automakers, especially Ford and General Motors, joined in the electric vehicle market. Ford announced several new models and investment in factories to build them. General Motors set a plan for its entire model lineup to be electric within a decade. But, since then, prices of the rare earth minerals needed to make electric vehicles have skyrocketed. This includes cobalt, nickel, and lithium, to name a few important ones. Lithium prices have risen so much that electric vehicle leader Tesla is actually considering building its own lithium refinery in the United States. Most of the rare earth minerals used in electric vehicles come from China. Only about 1% come from the United States. Not surprisingly, the Biden administration is seeking to source more rare earth minerals in the United States. The cost increases have impacted all electric car suppliers. And they have exacerbated other supply chain problems. Ford announced price increases of between $6,000 and $8,500 on the Lightning just 2 months ago. So, today's announcement is the second price increase announcement for the model during 2022. The 2023 F-150 Lightning now has a price range from $52,000 to $97,000 after all of the price increases. That compares to a price range of $40,000 to $92,000 for the 2022 model year. Wall Street could be underestimating the strength of the U.S. economy and employment. The F-Series pickup truck line has been the primary driver of Ford sales for years, if not decades. Ford sold 8,760 units of the F-150 Lightning pickup, which is very profitable and high-priced. Sales of the F-150 Lightning pickup have shocked the car industry. The entire world seems to have underestimated demand for a good electric pickup. Sales of the Mustang Mach-E crossover vehicle are up 49% as compared to 2021. Overall, Ford sold 1.38 million vehicles so far in 2022. Crosstown rival General Motors vehicle sales for Q3 increased by 24% compared to a year ago. General Motors also reiterated plans to increase production of its Chevrolet Bolt EV and EUV. Q3 was General Motors' best quarter ever for selling these two flagship electric models. So far, the company has sold 782 Hummer EV pickups. Hummer electric pickups are priced at over $100,000 each. In earlier press releases, CEO Mary Barra has announced that the company will transition to an all-electric product line. The $30,000 entry price of the Equinox EV compares to $66,000 for the Tesla Model Y. This announcement comes as the average price of a new car purchase in the United States has now reached $48,000. That is up from $39,000 just 2 years ago. The price of new cars and trucks rose % in 2022, according to a report by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But, what do you think? Please press the like button and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.